Cheers.
Cheers.
That was even worse.
You know, I applaud you. You got it. You got it right. I was the one who was messing it up.
So, welcome to another Wednesday.
Yay!
Finally, another Wednesday. I know we've been talking about this particular wine about it for a while now. Like last Friday, we were like, I am so excited for this particular wine about it. And I did do a sneak peek on our Facebook stories. So if you watched our Facebook stories, you saw one of the celebrities we're going to be color analyzing today.
This is so powerful, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it turned out to be really powerful
mm-hmm.
because it's just like right before your eyes.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's talking about changing their hair color right now because we're in quarantine. So either there's nothing else to do or your roots are growing out. So you're either trying to match your roots or dye it back.
Or both.
Yeah, or just anything, doing anything, testing something, a new hair color. But of course, when you change your hair color, that could potentially change the season.
You know, and this has been, I've noticed that this has been a really contentious topic because we have posts down here going, oh, no. You know, your season is your season for the rest of your life. And we've said, no. And not necessarily. And I think that what we have today as a presentation pretty much puts this to bed because it is so obvious and so right there in your face that the season has changed on these individuals. And it's interesting because I know you're a fan of a particular show.
Yes.
So what do we do?
Well, since today is the final episode of the season of Little Fires Everywhere, I love Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington. So we color analyzed both of them in honor of Little Fires Everywhere being the last episode of the season today. Don't forget.
And then I complained because we needed a summer because what we used, there was no summer. And I was like,
yeah,
we need a summer.
So we grabbed another celebrity who we'll do later on and surprise you with it. But yes, we'd have both stars from Little Fires Everywhere, and then we just added another celebrity that everyone knows and loves. So we have 3 celebrity color analysis that we're going to be doing today. And as we know, celebrities change their hair color all the time. So it is impossible to figure out what their hair color is at any given moment, pretty much.
And you know what? There are actually articles that you can read that says, you know, her natural color was X or her natural color was Y. And you have never seen this person in their natural color. And sometimes a hair color change will be a springboard to somebody launching their career. I know that Deborah Messing once said in an article that, you know, she auditioned and nobody ever noticed her as a brunette, which was her natural hair color. Then she dyed her hair red and suddenly she was getting part after part after part after part. And I thought this was fascinating. It was to me anyway. I mean, I don't intend to change my hair color because I'm liking rocking the gray at this point. But when you think about it, somebody can actually change their hair color and use that as a springboard for their whole career, that's powerful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, never went back.
Well, it's so, I mean, celebrities have the means to dye their hair all the time, except right now. I'm loving how all of the celebrities are talking about, oh, I need my haircut, my roots are growing out, and they're kind of embracing it, which I actually like and enjoy. So I'm having fun.
I'm loving it, and I think you're loving it too. It's like, no problem here. Gray is gray.
All right, so I know we had a couple people on. I just want to run back through what we're talking about today. We're doing some celebrity color analysis, being celebrities who have changed their hair color and how it affected their season. And if you guys are watching Little Fires Everywhere, which is like one of my favorite shows right now, we did Reese Witherspoon and we also did Kerry Washington. So we have both of them up today. And I wanted to say hi to everyone. April, Sonia, Trisha, hey guys. So I hope you're excited about today. And I guess we should dive into our first person.
I think so.
Okay, so I figured we should do Reese as the first one of the day. Now, should we do her in the color we always see her in?
I think we should, because she's the signature, Legally Blonde, and everybody's kind of used to her as a blonde. And we get it. Reese Witherspoon, when you think about her, you think, oh, yeah, she's spring, with that golden blonde hair and those blue eyes. And so here she is on her spring palette. What do you think?
Well, I love her, but I do have to say I have seen her in some select times where she has been a summer, because she just has no gold to her hair at all. It's like certain celebrities go, I guess, maybe to different hairstylists, and they do like little tweaks where they kind of strip out all the color in their hair, or maybe they're like moving back around or highlighting it, and they kind of just take out all the color. So I have seen her jump around a little bit when it comes to her blonde.
Some of these light blondes, I agree with you. They're just they're kind of, they move back and forth, and also it's the quality of the photograph. I mean, naturally, we don't see them live and in person very often at all. And so we're seeing them. Oh, look, hey Sharon. Hi.
Hello, Sharon.
We see them kind of through a lens, literally. And the lens, depending on the lighting, might kind of cast the hair to the gold. It might cast the hair not to the gold. So it makes it a little more complicated.
And the other thing is, we never see celebrities in natural light as well. That's something we always recommend. If you ask us what your season is, we always recommend sending a picture in natural light, because, once again, the lighting, when they go to like these shows and they're in these fancy gowns, the lighting is just, all over the place. And their backdrops are different colors, and it's really hard to gauge where they're actually at.
And did you know flash bulbs have different, you can buy flash, these very nice cameras, and you see these flashes going off. Well, flash bulbs have different color temperatures. So you can purchase different colorways in terms of your flash bulb. So that too will make this kind of a difficult thing to do. But having said that, we did a lot of research, and the majority of what I saw Reese Witherspoon as was with her spring hair.
Yeah, it had just that golden blonde to it instead of that platinum blonde. That's where the difference is between a summer and a spring, is whether it's more of that platinum blonde or the golden blonde right there. So as you can see, Reese in this picture, golden blonde, she has these teal eyes. I mean, and I love the lipstick color on her as well. The whole look is just so springy. It's perfect for her.
Yeah, and this is a recent photo.
Yeah, I believe this was 2019 or 2020. I can't remember. It was one of those years, but it was a recent photo of Reese. But something we never see Reese do is change her hair color.
And wasn't this in Little Fires Everywhere? Was she this color? Did she change her color for this?
She's blonde. She's blonde in Little Fires Everywhere. So yes, if you're hopping on today in honor of the season finale episode of Little Fires Everywhere, we're doing Reese and Kerry Washington today. So I'm going to take away Reese when she has blonde hair, and I'm going to add her back up at a time when she had like this auburn hair, okay?
This is going to blow your mind.
Now, we found this in an article she did for Entertainment, I think. She had her hair dyed, and I've honestly, I've never seen this, but we ended up finding this picture of her with her hair dyed on some magazine, and we realized she's not a spring anymore. She's got this like rich, dark, almost like my color, I would say. And her brows are darkened. She has a deeper, richer lipstick. I mean, so you can kind of tell that she moved. She's not that bright. Just like me, I can't wear those super bright, vibrant shades in a spring palette. It kind of makes me look like my skin tone just looks a little muted and not as like vibrant. But Reese looks amazing in this as well. As long as you get into your season and really embrace that hair color change, it looks so good.
So the point that we're trying to make here, and I think we're making it successfully, is that you can change your hair color dramatically. But if you don't change your season, and if you don't look at the nuances of hair color change, like your brows, your makeup, if you don't fully embrace this new you, people might say, I don't love your new hair. I mean, nobody's gonna say that to your face, but maybe behind your back, the girls might be like going, "Oh God, did you see that color?" It's not necessarily the color. I mean, it could be the color, but a lot of it is not making your look of a piece. So let's say, for example, that I were to dye my hair blonde. Because, some well-meaning friends often say to me, "Oh, Lucinda, that gray hair makes you look older. You should dye your hair blonde, or you should do something with your hair." I dig the gray just because it's different. But let's say I were to dye my hair blonde. That would immediately change me from possibly, if I did platinum blonde, it's not so different from my hair, then I would remain a summer. But if I did a golden blonde, I would suddenly be a spring. So my eyebrows would need to change. My makeup would need to change. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, if you want a new identity, I don't mean that in a criminal sort of way. I mean it in a kind of a, hey, fresh new look way. Then think about everything that goes along with it. So for those of you at home who have changed your hair color, I know there are a lot of you because Walmart did a kind of a public service announcement or a news thing that said, "Hey, we're running out of hair dye. Our next big thing. Before it was toilet paper, now it's hair dye." So I want to know, what these people are doing at home that's taking up all the toilet paper and all the hair dye. Having said that, but once you change your hair color, you've got to get back on the color quiz. You've got to make sure that your makeup is associated properly with your hair color. And it might mean your clothing, because look at Reese. If she were still wearing that, that spring palette, she wouldn't look as fantastic as she looks on these colors.
Yeah, we've gotten so many compliments about how good Reese looks right now as an autumn. I mean, she looks incredible. I love this on her. And I do want to bring up a time, because this is kind of my story as well. I was born this like golden blonde, really light hair, and it changed to this auburn color. But when I was younger, I wanted to be that blonde, and I dyed my hair and I highlighted it over and over and over again. And when it got too expensive, it was kind of one of those things where I had a spring palette and I love those bold and bright colors. And when I did go to my original hair color, I really had to get myself used to it and actually figure out what worked best for me, because I didn't like it. I didn't like what my natural hair color was, even, this red auburny tone.
As I recall, you didn't even know what your hair color was, because there were all these highlights and highlights and highlights, and that had kind of adjusted your thinking. And then you had a root situation going on, and you said, I'm going to go to the hairdresser and I'm going to just get her to blend my roots into my hair.
Yeah, and at first I had a hard time with it. I didn't have the right mindset, nor did I have the right clothing that worked within being an autumn. I always gravitated towards spring shades, those brighter, those bolder shades. And once I realized what my power colors actually were and how much I love, like a rich green and a rust color, I realized how good those certain shades looked on me. And then that's when I started to really embrace and love my natural hair color.
And as I recall, one of the things that kind of made a difference for you was that people were walking up to you going, "Oh, I love your hair color." And you would be so blown away. And that happened so often as compared to when you were the highlighted blonde.
Yeah.
Didn't that make a difference in terms of your confidence and what you were able to embrace?
It absolutely did. And I mean, moral of the story is if you are changing your color, just remember that it is an initial shock, but it's also making sure you're in your season and really understanding what the right colors are for that hair color. And at first it might
color is more than hair, right?
Right. And I didn't really fully, I don't think I knew exactly what the whole color analysis process entailed and how it would change me. But once I figured out what it really meant to be in autumn and find out the colors, I really loved those colors. And it's completely changed how I feel about my natural hair color, actually. So it's just for anyone out there that's looking for change or thinking about dyeing their hair, just remember that, you know, you might love certain colors, like the spring colors for me. I'm pretty sure I probably walked into the salon with spring colors, but once I actually started learning about what's right for my new hair and my natural hair color, that's when I really started to love where I was. And I haven't had to dye my hair for years and years now because I really love this natural color for me.
Do you want to pop Reese back as her legally blonde kind of persona?
Yes. So let me get her. I'm so sorry. Let me get her out of the way, and then I'm gonna pop her spring colors back in. Now this is the Reese that we know. And it's funny, this is kind of where I was born, this blonde, golden blonde hair, where I grew up being the spring color, and I always had these bright, bold shades on. So it's funny because it kind of resonates with me a lot. So here's Reese. I see some comments coming. She stayed warm. Yes, she did. Natural winter, salt and pepper. Yes, salt and pepper is the winter. Yes, it is so important to make sure you are
know your season.
Yes. Going to color my hair myself this too. Patsy, what color are you doing? Red? Are you saying red, or are you gonna go natural? What are you doing? Love to change hair color. I'm a winter. So, I mean, here you've seen the two Reeses that we have available. Now, I'm really excited about the next person we're doing because it's Kerry Washington. And we have her when it was hard to find an image of her in this chocolatey brown, which we did, which is this really rich golden undertone brown hair that we found her in. And she looks amazing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the Kerry Washington that we usually see, which is her jet black hair. And then we're going to
mind, she never looks bad.
I know.
So
look at, I mean, this is like that jet black. Her brows don't have any color to them. Even her lipstick, her blush is all this shocking pink, cool tone.
For winter.
Yeah, so we have the typical Kerry Washington that we see all the time. Now, when I was searching for her with different hairstyles, I found one where she dyed her hair this like almost like a red. It had like red highlights to it, but they were
more Osborne kind of color.
Yeah, it was more of like a purple red, a blue red instead of a like orange red. So I found that, but it still kind of kept her in the warm or the cool season. But then I found this one, and this is the only one I could find, where she had this golden brown hair that looked so amazing. Look at that. How gorgeous is that hair color on her? I mean, and she was wearing all of the right colors. She didn't get a thing wrong in this.
And you know what? That's the benefit of being like a movie star, because you have a stylist, you've got somebody telling you these are your colors. But in our world, in the Color Me Beautiful world, you don't have to be a movie star because we've got the tools, we've got the people. If you want to change your hair color, we've got people that will help and pull you all together in your new color.
And look how good Deborah's like, wow. I mean, when I saw this image, I said, oh my goodness, if we do not do Wine About It with Kerry Washington, then I'm not doing Wine About It.
Ever again.
Yeah. How good does she look with this rich golden brown? I absolutely love this. I love everything she's wearing, her makeup, whoever did her makeup. Yes, you did an awesome job. I mean, she looked stunning in this look. The moment I saw her, I was just blown away.
And
So
it's such a monochromatic look for her. And I know that in many cases, particularly with women of color, you know, they've got the rich, warm, creamy brown skin tone, and then often they'll have black hair. And there's a bit of a, you know, there's a bit of a conflict there in terms of the rich skin tone and the black hair. Here's a case where she can go both ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she absolutely can. And I mean, this is just, I want everything. I want her eyeshadow. I want her lipstick. I'm gonna recreate this look. So wish me luck. I'm gonna
the dress is, yeah, I mean, you can see a little bit on the shoulders, and it's right on point. So's her jewelry. So again, imagine what would have happened if she had this hair and she's gone with the whole winter vibe that we saw in the previous photo. It would have been disastrous. So that is why everybody out there, when you change your hair color, you've got to get it right in terms of the whole look.
And that's what we talk about, being just harmonious. Everything just blended together. I mean, her blush, her lips, her eyeshadow, her dress, everything about this look was blended together, and it was all warm and pulling from that same palette, and she just looked incredible. And the same with the cool. Everything she wore, her lipstick was a cool lipstick, her blush was a cool lipstick. Even to her brows, they used a like a dark charcoal instead of a rich brown eyebrow.
Do you want to show her again?
Yeah, let me bring her back up. So we have her back in her winter colors. As you can see, there's no saturation in her brows. I mean, she's done the smoky eye. You can see they've really used that black eyeliner on her, that cool tone lipstick, the cool tone blush. I mean, everything was just perfect in this.
It's like a work of art. And if you were to take her picture and go in and have it framed, these would be the colors that would be the colors that would be right for this particular look. But the moment the hair color changed, it changed.
Right. So this is, once again, if you are changing your hair color, make sure that you are actually working within that palette, so that you can get an actual real look at what everything looks like together. Because it's not like that's an ugly hair color. It's not. You look beautiful. It's just you might not be using the right palette for you. So
to flatter you. I mean, the bottom line is we are here. It's why we have jobs. It's why we work so hard at what we do. We are here to make sure that you look your best. And you know, more power to you. If you want to go blonde, go blonde. But make sure that everything goes blonde along with you. And then you'll look terrific. And also want no such thing as a big mistake.
Right. And that's kind of the point. You're not ugly just because you changed your hair color. You don't look bad because you changed your hair color. You look gorgeous, and you just might not be wearing the right colors for that season that complement your new hair color, or maybe you're still using your old brow powder that is changing, you know, making warm to cool. And there's so many nuances, but no matter what, nothing is an ugly color of hair. Nothing is an ugly color of yourself. You're beautiful. You just might have to change up your season a little bit to really harmonize the entire look together.
And we love you.
Yes, everyone. And we hope that you were having fun and changing your hair color as much as you want. I had to go. There was a guy that made a comment on one of our Facebook pages, and he was like, you know, I love women in their natural colors. I can't believe people do this and wear makeup, dye their hair. And I lost it. I was like, we don't do this for you. I don't know who you think you are, but we do this for ourselves, to make ourselves feel good. And yeah,
And what did Brendan teach you, your husband?
You
don't need no man.
Oh, yeah. He only says that when he doesn't want to do something and he wants me to do it. Are you kidding me?
The wisdom is there. The wisdom is there. And we do this for us, and we pull ourselves together, our looks together for us. And when we get up during this crazy time where we're all locked in by ourselves, by myself, and we're putting on makeup, who are we putting the makeup on for? We're putting it on for us. Because, you know, it's a great time to experiment, and we just want to feel good about ourselves. It's not that we're insecure or anything. It's that we're works of art. And why not just celebrate that?
Yeah. So, I mean, we're all about women empowerment now. Forget the color analysis. We've just done like a 180 on that.
Absolutely. I have a pet peeve that I want to bring up before we get to our next thing.
Okay.
And I want to say that I am so frustrated with brow color and the way that brow color is designed for anybody but a person with silver hair. And so they say, oh, use blonde or use taupe. Don't do that, because sometimes it'll go red on your face, sometimes it'll go green on your face. I have found the best brow color when used with a gentle hand is brown, or not. Because you put gray on your eyebrows and that's looking like what? Who really has a full gray brow except maybe Tommy Lee Jones, you know?
Right.
But I brown with a light hand.
Now I'm wondering if it's just our brunette powder, because I'm wearing the brunette powder as well. Now I did the light brown pencil, but I also did the brunette on the end because I feel like I don't know, it blends perfectly. So now I'm wondering if it's our brunette brow powder is just designed to work with cool and warm tones.
Well, in the brow powders, believe it or not, the charcoal, the one that's more toward black, is a better fit for gray hair, because what you're looking for is something that has no warmth. And we've gone way off topic here. I apologize. But, you know, it's my pet peeve, because I am Mona Lisa, a walking Mona Lisa, because I have no brows. And it's so weird, and I look like lizard eyes. And so what I want is for everybody to understand that the brow color, if you have silver hair, it needs to be cool, but it does not need to be gray.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree. Now I do see some comments coming up that I'm gonna run through. I agree. Color Me Beautiful needs to sell hair dye. Oh my gosh, seasonal hair dye. If you guys are thinking about dyeing your hair, let us know. We'll color analyze what the season will be.
Yeah, we'll give you some advice on that. But years ago, our company in the UK joined in a partnership with Wella in the UK. That's a famous hair dye company. And we actually sort of segmented their hair dye by season for them. And that was done many moons ago. And just as a fun fact, did you know that when Carol first published her book, she worked with Chevrolet to do seasonal car interiors in terms of color? Who knew?
Well, you got to look good in your car.
So that's a little fun fact.
Yeah, I actually did. I guess when I first started working at Color Me Beautiful, it's kind of one of like the talking points, because it's one of those things that you don't think about, that, you know, these car companies would want their interiors color analyzed, but it's kind of like a cute little reminder of back in the day. Now,
well, Sarah and I, every time we start to do our wine about it, or we do our spa at home on Friday, I complain because my environment is so warm that it's completely messing me up. And I was like, Sarah, I think I need to paint my wall, because this whole warm vibe is not flattering to me. And she's like, well, you know, don't go overboard. But still, it's not right. And yours is cool.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any color on the walls. I have like the new construction home, whatever they call it. But yeah, I don't have any colors in my office at all right now. So I really just have this like emerald green backdrop and my bottle of wine that's helping the core wise.
That's another thing for you ladies to think about. We have customers that are on at this particular feed, and we also have professionals. We have a whole army of professionals who are trained in color analysis, and they join us here on Wednesdays and Fridays, which we're so thankful for. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that you guys may consider is that your environment says nothing says seasonal color analysis like making sure it's all of a piece. And mm-hmm. I am the guilty party here. I apologize.
Yeah. Well,
I'm going to fix it.
Yeah, I did see some. Hey, Deborah, color is powerful. Yes, it is, Trisha. Now, do a show where you remake men with their correct color clothes. Ooh, that could be fun.
Well, I think it could be lots of fun. Mm-hmm. In fact, we have Coloring Beautiful has a book that was published some years ago called Color for Men. Mm-hmm. And it basically dealt with the male uniform. Now, it's a little bit older, so I wouldn't like jump on every single tip that it has, because let's face it, men's clothing choices have changed a little bit and their options have changed. And we think a little bit differently about, does your season change when your hair color changes, as we've mm-hmm. demonstrated, I think effectively. So, but it's a cool book to take a look at. And yes, we would love to do that show. In fact, I'm sure Sarah's husband, Brendan, would volunteer to be a model.
I don't think he will at all. I think that would be a very hard no from my husband.
But shout out to Jeff. Shout out to Jason. Maybe people in our group that will volunteer.
So everyone hopping on now, I want to make sure, check the replay, because we've already color analyzed Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington. So we did 2 looks where they dyed their hair, where it kind of flipped their season a bit. So check those out. Don't miss those. So make sure you go back and watch the beginning of it as well. Now, our last person that we're going to talk about today, we wanted somebody who was a summer for you, of course.
Yeah, I went all crazy going, where's the summer? Where's the summer? We need summer.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to show, we did Charlize Theron. So that's the person we chose as a summer. I mean, she's one of those people where you think about hair color changes, she's that person.
In fact, somebody in our feed asked the question, can you be all seasons? And I started thinking about, can you be all seasons? Now, naturally, the answer is no. Because if you are a brunette and you go gray, salt and pepper, you're still a winter. If you're black hair, brown, ashy brown. If you're spring and you go gray, naturally, that season would change. But bottom line, Charlize, that girl has been she has run the gamut from winter, spring, summer, and I've even seen her as an autumn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's definitely been through it all. But the 2 seasons that we picked for her today is summer and winter. We found 2 of these. Actually, the winter we found her as, we actually did, I don't know if you remember this, but a while ago, we did a video on this particular show and how she was wearing the wrong colors. So we actually cropped out her wearing the wrong colors. But I'm going to show you her as a summer, because this is really where we see her.
Also, we changed her lipstick on the wrong color.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So she has this platinum blonde hair. I mean, she's really soft. Her brows are soft. Her lips are soft. Her blush is soft.
And cool.
Yes, winter for sure. Now her roots are growing out a bit, but I notice around her frame, around the frame of her face. Yeah, she's still really blonde in this area. Now I see her parts grown out.
So the one thing that I would say is, if she were running away from the scene of a crime, what color would you would say her hair is? Blondish. blondish.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, for
Mm-hmm.
summers, that ish word comes up so often in descriptions.
Mm-hmm.
So you would say that she's blondish. And if you were saying, well, what's her coloring? Well, it's kind of coolish.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just like you. You're grayish. I wouldn't like you have some white, you have some darker tones, you have some grays. You're just grayish. There's
And
no
you have been able to find the occasional auburn hair.
yes, randomly, yes. So this is kind of like the Charlize we see a lot of the time is this blonde she does.
Yeah,
But,
ice cream kind of vibe.
mhm, uh-huh. But when we found her as a winter, that was something that we don't normally see, just like Kerry Washington as an autumn. It was something that we never get to see a lot of, but stunning as always. Uh-oh, here we go. Let me there we go.
Word for it.
But look how good she looks.
She
So
is just one of, and
mm-hmm.
so I challenge for those of you who are still of a mind that your season does not change.
Mm-hmm.
Voila.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does.
Look how I love the lipstick color on her. Her brows, they darkened her brows for this look. They darkened her hair. Now I'm not sure what her natural hair tone is because the roots on her summer look seem to be very dark, but I'm not sure because her brows are so light. So I'm not sure what her natural hair color. If anybody knows what her natural color is, let us know.
And that is often the case with these celebrities because they change their hair so often that it's hard to catch them, with roots.
Right, right.
This would be a wonderful time for us to look for current pictures of people if they in fact go outside and figure out what their natural hair color is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what her natural hair. I know, it's funny because when we did this for Angelina Jolie, we did a show that was about Angelina Jolie, and we all assumed that her hair color was darker just because she always has that I don't know, that dark
vibe.
Yeah. And somebody let us know that that wasn't her natural color at all.
And that she was a blonde and that her mother had darkened her hair early on. And she just, like yourself, when you went to your natural, she just never went back. Mm-hmm. She stayed a brunette. Mm-hmm. And I was blown away by that.
Yeah, we had no idea.
It goes back to the Deborah Messing thing where she only got parts after she dyed her hair red. And I'm thinking, is there a hair color for us that is our magical hair color that if we were to embrace that hair color and completely complete the vibe all the way around it, that it just changes our lives?
Mm-hmm.
Think about
it. Who knows?
I know.
Well, it's kind of like our power color. We each have, that color that we always gravitate towards. I know mine is always like a green. So if ever there's a green option, that will be my option.
What's funny about Sarah is that she has this, it's kind of a jacket style. And I don't want to call it a safari jacket, but it's a lightweight jacket and it's got pockets and it's her vibe because, she likes the pockets and whatever.
It's like a utility jacket, like one of those utility styles.
Let's put an S on that because she has that same jacket in the same color with just little detail changes, like the buttons may change or the pocket places may change. I think she's got 4 of them.
I do. I have a ton. I have one with like embossed flowers on it. I have one that's more of like a windbreaker, and then I have another one that's
got the ruffles on the neck.
Yeah, I have another one with like a belted version of it. I mean, I really love a green utility jacket.
And it's the same green. So.
I know somebody else out there has to have some piece of clothing that they constantly keep buying. I hope. Please tell me because now I feel like I'm alone.
And it's very close to the color that you're wearing in your cardigan. Although I will say that the green of your screen behind you suppresses the green in your cardigan so that it almost reads gray. There you go. There it is.
This is actually a very green cardigan. I don't know. I hope this is showing how green this is, but this is really green.
Celeste says olive green is my color. And you know what? It's interesting. Yeah, Sarah too. It's interesting though, because there's certain colors that only one season can wear. Mm-hmm. And the one season that can wear olive is the autumn. And that is it. And well,
I would say winter comes close with like a pine. So if you're thinking that you look really good in olive, I want to make sure that you think about, so one is a lot yellower and one has more blue black in it. So there's like, I hate that all companies call, like a darker green olive, because
a darker, warmer, softer green.
Right. That's kind of, one has a bit more yellow in it, that a warmer green tone, and
well,
then
I like to call that avocado.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your avocado, and then you have your olive, and then you have this pine color that actually it scrapes by in the cool palette. So you've moved over, and winters, of course, can wear that.
Yeah, I mean, you could see in this image of the winter palette with Charlize, that green in the top left. That's kind of, it's warmer than here. Let me show you Reese in the autumn palette. So let me switch over to, and you could kind of see it just went from, it has more of this yellow in it than that bluer tone. So all clothing companies will call it olive, but there's a slight little difference between each of them that I want to make sure. Just because you say you can wear olive, I want to make sure you know that it may be a winter versus a autumn olive.
Well, let me make a suggestion, because we have a solution for that problem. Because let's face it, manufacturers, when they're naming colors, they're not as robust about naming colors as we are. I mean, we will go to the mat with each other, like wrestling and pounding each other in the face to get our name, because we're so passionate about it. But it's easy for people who pop a color up on Amazon or pop a color up on Crew or pop a color up on Nordstrom. And that color will have come from the manufacturer, and they might have called it olive. But we all know that somebody in New York's olive may be different than somebody's in Florida's olive. So I want to suggest to you that you take a look at our digital color palettes, because that is a uniform way to see what your best colors are. And it doesn't matter if some manufacturer calls a sweater olive and you're in autumn and that sweater is looking awfully teal to you. Bring it up in your digital color palette in a PDF reader and say, this will look good on me, or this will not.
That's why it's so important to have that digital version of it, because then you can just compare the two on your screen. There's no worrying about, is your monitor brighter or darker, or do you have your brightness up? I mean, none of that you have to worry about.
Not to mention the fact that your monitor is put together. Have you ever looked at a close-up of a monitor and how it's made? It's put together with little dots of color, and the dots are magenta, they're cyan, and they're yellow. And added with deepness or lightness, you can make any color on the planet with that combination of colors. And that is why screens have that, how they're made. So let's say that your screen skews toward magenta. And you're looking at things, and everything you're seeing is like, oh, this is a little pink. No. That is why if you're looking at the digital color palette at the same time you're looking at a sweater or something, and you're thinking, is this right for me? Any adjustment in the color of your monitor takes place across the board with the digital color palette and with the picture of the product. So that makes it so easy and foolproof.
Now, since we had Reese up, up here, I forgot that we had an autumn version of Kerry Washington as well. So I totally forgot. I love this autumn palette. Oh, so beautiful. Holly, I know you pulled out some shades, and every shade that you said, I just fell in love with already. So you and I are like we're the same color spirit.
Animal.
Yeah, we're on the same spirit color, I guess. So if you.
And Trisha said something funny where she says, you guys would drive my husband crazy with the specificity of color discrimination. Hey, that is our job. That is what we do. We are all about color discrimination and making sure that those tiny little nuances, because that's the difference in looking amazing and looking so-so.
Yeah, my husband's the same way. A green is a green, is a neon green, is a dark green, is a light green, a soft green. Oh, it's all just green. And me, on the other hand, I am like, no, this is like a moss. This is, more of a light yellow green. And this one would be more of a gray green.
Lime. Let's not forget lime and avocado and all of our favorite fruits and vegetables. Zucchini.
Our adjectives. We throw in an adjective here and there. It makes no sense, but it describes the color perfectly. Like a vivid. It's vivid, and we really love it. It's a vivid green or a vivid yellow green, something along those lines. I'm the worst about that.
Sonia asked a really important question. She says, so if I'm a winter, are you saying that I can't do summer or any other season, even if I change my hair color? Oh, no. If you bring up Charlize as a summer and take a look at her roots are dark. So I fully believe that her actual tendencies as a season is probably winter. She's cool.
Well, but look at those brows again. It's so hard to determine what somebody is naturally.
True. I remember sometime when I was talking to you and you were much younger, when you said, I want to do my hair and I want to do it so that I want to have it dyed so that my roots are black and my hair is blonde. And
okay, let me tell you, that is so trendy right now. Everyone gets that done. That whole ombre effect. She thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
It was hilarious.
Ombre hair.
I thought it was hilarious because she was asking to have her roots a color, and she didn't really understand that roots are sort of a remnant of your past life.
Okay, clearly I was ahead of my time. Okay, so look at your their own. I mean, I was definitely ahead of my time. I love a little, it's just ombre action. It looks good.
So, getting back, because we're all over the place, getting back to your question, Sonia, if you're a winter and you want to go to a platinum and you've got the roots kind of working, you can be a summer.
And you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, we're saying as long as you are mindful that the current color of your hair and your palette and your makeup, that's what you got to do. You got to have it all be of a piece.
Because then if you're not harmonizing the entire look, you might feel like you don't like it, and you might feel like you made a poor decision, but you didn't. You look beautiful no matter what hair color. You just got to work within that and harmonize that hair color with you. Is pretty much make it work for you and make it work for your new palette.
I mean, there was a time many moons ago, maybe not so many moons ago, but years ago, that my hair was exactly the color of Sarah's. Exactly that color. Now, you might say to yourself, oh, no, she was never, oh, no, an autumn? How could she have been an autumn? Yes, I was an autumn, and I dressed like an autumn. I had the whole autumn palette going on in my wardrobe and whatever. And so when I decided, you know, it didn't take a quarantine for me to decide to let my hair go gray. I just did it. And I come from a long line of women who had stunning gray hair. I mean, really, they were beautiful women, and and that was one of their signatures. You know, I had aunts who, you know, they would go out and their hair would be gray, and they'd have on, you know, these silver clothes, and they would look so fabulous. And I thought, I could do that. I would love to do that. And so every piece of my wardrobe had to change, except a couple of the soft colors. But change I did, and I've never gone back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, and it, you know, sometimes it just feels good. It's just, you know, sometimes you need a change, and it just is the right change for you. So
and remember that it's not just the colors that have to change. It's the white you choose. You can't use a blue crisp white if you're a warm season. You have to go a little bit softer. And you know, if you're a winter, the greatest white for you is pure blistering white, like Snow White, and you will look fabulous.
I hope, I don't know, this shirt, it's funny because our shirts kind of look like the same color, but mine is like an ivory. And you mentioned earlier that yours was like a gray.
It's so a pale gray.
Yeah.
It's got all this bounce that's happening on it. Because remember, every piece of light, every bit of light, whether it's coming from the window or the door or whatever, is bouncing off at a 45-degree angle off my walls. And it is changing the color that you see. And that just happens all the time.
So right now I'm wearing like it's like a creamy color, almost like
ivory.
Yeah, it has some yellow to it, like a buff ivory type of color. And even again, my cardigan is like super green, as you guys saw earlier. But right now it's pulling almost like a gray. But it's pulling.
But if you had a digital color palette and you were looking at that color, whether it's the right color for you, boom, it would work.
I'm trying to make sure, I want to make sure you guys can see how this color has changed a little bit on screen. Oh yeah, there you go. You can kind of see.
When you get closer, you can pick up the real color. But you know what I think is a great thing to mention at this point? Do we or do we not? Hey, Mary Beth. Do we or do we not have the Color Deluxe kits on sale?
We do. Today only we did a flash sale on all the Color Deluxe kits in case you are somebody that just dyed your hair.
Hair color.
Yes, you just changed your hair color. We put all the seasonal deluxe color kits 50% off. So you get a swatch fan, you get a lipstick, a eyeliner, you get a nail lacquer, all 50% off today only for Wine About It Wednesday. So
we should say that as a kit, the fact that it lived in our world as a kid, it was already somewhat discounted. And then we're making it available for those people who are changing their hair color, who may want to just change the whole look, because you need to, if you change your hair color, or if you just want to pull, you know, if you haven't had a look that was all pulled together before and you haven't changed your hair color, there has never been a better time than now to get your deluxe color kit.
Yes, the collection is amazing, and we wanted to make sure that just for anyone who does end up changing their hair tone, that you have this available for you, and you know, you don't have to worry about it. You get yourself in the right season and you feel great about yourself. And yeah, so
it's just pulled together. And Trish asked if she can post it. Please post it. No, it's on sale. But here's the trick. It's for you guys. So it's one day only, right?
Yes, it's one day only.
At midnight?
Yeah.
So jump on this and have them jump on it.
I was shaking my head because someone asked if it needed a promo code. It does not. I was not disagreeing with what you were saying. I was reading other comments at the time. So no, you do not need a promo code. You get that entire collection 50% off. So make sure you
your season.
Mm-hmm.
That's the important thing. You don't have to go buying random colors that you're never going to wear and adding to that ubiquitous makeup drawer that we all have. That's all the stuff that's not quite the right color. And add in the comments below the links to those by season. And if you have a question, take the seasonal color quiz.
Or you can message us an image in natural light. It's the other thing. You take the color quiz or message us, but we do need an image in natural lighting. So,
and if you're looking for a professional, we are not suggesting, because the professionals that work with us, they are independent contractors, and we would never say go into somebody's home right now. But if that's something you want to have done later on, we are here for you, and we can hook you up with somebody that's
local to you.
Right.
So if you guys have any other questions, go ahead, comment down below. We'll be here for a little bit answering everyone, making sure we talk and say hi to everyone. I know we only got to say hi to a couple people that first jumped on. So
I know we missed so many folks.
I know. It's so hard because it just kind of scrolls through, and it's kind of like a ticker that just goes up. And if you don't catch it on time, it's gone. So it's not like we can go back.
But you know what I love about you guys? We have a core group that I like to think of as our live group. And I also like to think that I know you. You know, I know your hair color. I know Celeste. I know Holly. I know Trisha. You know, I know you guys. I know Mary Beth, Deborah. And I love that. I love that we're a core community and we know each other and we're friends.
Yeah. So if you ever want to chat, we're right here. Now, so one last little, we'll see you on Friday because we have another spa day on Friday.
Oh, and spa day is going to be really good.
Yes. And what else? Do we have any other housekeeping to let everyone know about?
The most important thing are the color kits at 50% off, because this is unheard of. I don't even remember ever doing this in the past.
Yeah. So we will see everyone on Friday. And again, any questions, you want to talk, chat, you have any color ideas, anything going on, let us know in the comments. And we will see you next Wednesday. So
cheers. Oh wait, we have to do our cheers thing. I practiced. Cheers.
Oh, wrong way.